saw teams like Nip and Fnatic, and yeah, and I just knew I wanted to compete in this game, and ever since then I've been grinding through the ranks in the Swedish scene, and yeah.
Awesome.
That's pretty sick. So you've always had like the competitive spirit about you, then, like wanting to be a pro football player, then transitioning into Counter-Strike. That's sick, man. So like, were you just kind of nuts from the get-go? How much of this was like, you know, natural talent, do you think, and then how much was what you learned through grinding?
I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I mean, I'm kind of a stereotype guy because I started watching my older brother play CSGO or even 1.6. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I've always played games, so I guess there's some talent for that. Just playing, you know, games, FPS games and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a grind. Learned a lot.
I love it, man. With all Scandinavian players, I feel like there's always a brother. There's always a brother that's been showing them Counter-Strike before, and then they're like, yeah, I'm gonna beat him, and then you beat him, and then you go, well, you know, now who can I beat? You know, and then you just start, So yeah, no, man, no, that's sick. Honestly, and it is great to have you here. You know, nice to get some air time with you, and obviously you, Samuelsson, as well, man. It's good to have you around as like the reoccurring theme here.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the golden part now. All clutch situations, like one kill
that's good,
and
man.
lose.
One kill and lose. That is the tried and tested golden method.
Yeah.
Look at this stack. 4 on the sandbag.
It's very cheesy, isn't it, man? It's just trying to like gimmick something with these USPs. They get away with one, you know, you'll take that, and now you realise if you're MIBR, like, yeah, probably we don't go there. And actually they do, mate. SHG just runs in the back line. So they could have just gone B, could have applied the bomb, but instead they hunt the kills, fair enough, 3-0. Now we have this buy around, now you're hoping things get a bit more exciting.
Yeah, how's Vertigo been for you guys at Fnatic? Like, it still feels like there's... I mean, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. I'm happy to watch it these days, but I don't know how it is to play at the top level. I know it used to be frustrating because it would change a lot, but do you feel like it's a bit more stable and easier to approach now?
From my point of view, I really like the changes because I think that in the beginning it was really bad, but now it's okay. I do think that it's way too A heavy still, though. It's like most of the rounds you see it's like full war on A and quiet mid, quiet B. Not round because it mix it up, but still a lot of A heavy for me.
Yeah, what do you think the solution is to that, though? Is it making B more approachable, or is it making A? I don't even know how you would fix it, right, without completely rehauling everything.
Yeah, that's the thing about that's the map, but it's two one-sided if you compare A to B.
For me as I play, it feels like I don't know. I don't really think of the map of a way of being like unbalanced or too A heavy or something like that. I think it's just when a map first comes out, you're not familiar with it. Like you need time to find out the meta on how to play the map. And for me right now, it feels like Vertigo could have been a map that's been here for like forever because it's kind of cemented right now in the scene. So yeah, I think it's just about players, you know, finding new ways and keeping on exploring.
Yeah, and I like Vertigo now, but I would love them to change maps more often, though.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that's a shared sentiment between a lot of people, right? Just to help keep the game a little more fresh, right? Even if it was just a tiny bit more regular than it is now. I know there's a lot of like Cash fans out there that are wanting to bring Cash back into the pool. I personally want like brand new maps. I don't want to just see the same. You know, like we've had Cash before, and it's a cool map, you know. But I don't know. I feel like the current meta of CS, the maps that are popular are things like Nuke. You know, like Nuke was the most played map last year, wasn't it? So, and that was never the case before. I think these very tactical maps where you've got a lot open to you are really popular, and I think Cash has always been pretty aim heavy, in my opinion. Right? I don't know if that's something you guys would agree with, but
yeah,
I want new maps, brand spanking new.
for me, it's more, not about the map really. I just want a change because you work with the same maps over and over and over and over again. So cash would work for me, but just the thing that they should change like each 6 months or something like that. So have something fresh, mix it up in the scene. Work with something new.
It'd be so cool to swap them out swap one map out every major or even every year or just whenever, please, Valve.
Just ever, really, just a tool.
Yeah. Would you say you're like a lot when we talk about new maps, a lot of people go old school and they go like Tuscan, Mill, like old 1.6 or source maps at times. Are you in that same boat? I know you said you just want change at this point, but if you could choose, would you bring in an old map or would you try something fresh?
I mean, I can't be pity. I just want a change, but if I get a change, I would love a new map. But Tuscan would be awesome. That's a really good map in my opinion.
Oh, Zephyr behind the sandbags, cleaning it up. Smoke for a Molly. They don't have one, but he can still buy time. Oh, it's actually gone out. He can hide in the smoke, taking a bit of damage, going above the railing even. Surely not another. Bolts does deal with him, and he goes flying.
Love the attempt there, just trying to do what he can with that smoke. Trying to make plays in very awkward positions, but 5 seconds to plant the bomb. This is very awkward indeed. Forced in the corner. Pretty sure you can spam that, and indeed there's the bomb on the ground. Round 1 by time. Really nice by Cloud9. Starting to come back into things. Alex has been really good on the AWP. I really am impressed with the consistency that he's been showing with it. It kind of feels like he's been doing it for a lot longer than he has when you watch him. With the confidence that he has and the moves that he's making.
And gents, feel free to pick up any play-by-play if you wanted it. If you want to try your hand at it, if you want to give it a go.
There's the invitation.
Yeah, that's for Samuelsson, you know.
Samuelsson, play-by-play extraordinaire.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this one, Samuelsson? How are you feeling about this round?
About this round? Yeah, this is what I talk about. Full war on A until the smoke disappear, and then we can start work the map. And that's what I don't like about this map. But as you also mentioned, it's hard to do something else about it. Yeah. But I would say that this is like a typical Vertigo round. And the cities is falling back because they have no utility left, and then they will do A execute here.
Yeah, this is like a really hard situation for the CTs because when you use so many resources and put so much attention to fighting A and you don't get anything from it, then it's just almost impossible to hold the A site, especially with the low HP.
Yeah, they've got so much room mid. Look at these players climbing over construction to B right now. If Shiz can get out, grab that bomb and join his team, that'd be massive, but there is Mezzi in the back line to worry about. Cutting off this rotate, he's just playing the bomb right now. He's not playing too aggro, hoping someone goes to pick it up. Those B players are coming searching. This is smart by MIBR. They've walked mid to B, back down the bottom to flank Mezzi. That is really annoying. What a play. Now B's
really
open.
Good job. To realize that they might push and have the bomb and clear it.
Wow. Well, at least we're seeing T-side rounds from MIBR in this map. Didn't get any on overpass, so
it's a good start.
Yeah, really good start.
after that comeback.
Yeah. How do you, Jackie? Do you find it easy?
Enjoyed learning about it. Good timing as well. That DDK is here. You know, I've been watching a lot of his podcasts as well. So yeah.
Oh, awesome.
But I would say that the way they lost is like the worst you can do. You have a big lead, you lose 14 rounds in a row and lose the map. That's the worst possible.
And yeah, to to get back to your question, so far I'd say I'm pretty good at resetting between maps. Yeah.
Nice. Valuable skill.
Oh yeah, Chiquini, I got another question, right? So does it feel kind of surreal to be on a team now with like some of these big Swedish legends? You know, you got guys like JW in there, right? Crims as well.
He knows exactly.
No, yeah, I know that. But yeah, man, you get what I mean. Like, does that feel kind of surreal going from being someone who you know was like discussed as like a talent, and you know, I heard that it's things like FPL, right, really kind of helped build you up. Would you say
Swedish
that
Pro
helped?
League, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Sorry, Swedish Pro League.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's like it's really a dream come true. I mean, it's what I've been dreaming for the last 5 years to be in a situation like this and play for Fnatic. So yeah, I mean, I haven't played a lot, but there's some days where I'm just like, holy shit, I'm playing in Fnatic. You know? but then at the other hand, the guys are so like welcoming and down to earth. So when we're at the boot camp right now, it feels pretty normal. But yeah, sometimes I just catch myself, you know, thinking that I've actually I'm here, you know.
Yeah, well, because something else that's kind of, you know, unique to this situation that we're in right now is that the kind of highs of it all, like the best bits, which are the LAN events, are still to come with you with this team, right? Like boot camping must feel nice, getting to see everyone and stuff, but knowing that at some point soon you're going to be at a LAN wearing the Fnatic jersey, that's a really cool feeling, and something that you're always going to have to look forward to, considering the time we're in right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've told my friends and my family that, you know, I'm not gonna fully realize where I am until the day I play a big tournament, you know, on a big LAN, and I think it's probably gonna be a amazing feeling that kicks in when I get to do that.
We all want those crowds back. We all want those stadium filled.
Yeah.
I also think that is like a good start for a new fresh guy that start with online, have a boot camp, kick off boot camp, play some tournaments, and then go to LAN. So
yeah, you have to look at the good side. That's like this online era. It couldn't be a better time for me to get a chance to like have a more smooth ride, so to say.
Yeah, like a good transition in, right? Like
exactly,
kind of
transition.
Starting slow and building up. And also, that's kind of what's happened in this round. MIBR exploded into A. It was looking good for them in the beginning, but now we get into this kind of awkward 4-on-3. Ooh, that's a bit of a blind through the smoke as well. And yeah, man, so these are the fights that Samuelson's like molding over right now. This is what he's on about with these A brawls, right? And how, especially in retakes, it feels like it can come down to these ramp fights through smoke. It does feel like, right, if the T's get into that A bomb site with utility left over, retaking, like even at a man advantage, as we saw there in a 4-on-3, it can feel so punishing, right? With the smokes down, just keep cutting you off from actually, you know, getting into the site. And then even once the smokes have faded, well, you've got to be ready to go for one of those ramp duels, which can be so finicky, man. Like, it's just so irritating to actually, you know, be able to gain any ground to get back into those kind of rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's very... depending on the utilities that you use as CT, I mean, most of the time it's always going to be T favored, because they got the good angles and the better weaponry. So it's a tough situation to be in to retake A site.
That's some stylish tape on Zeppa's headphones. Oh,
I think it's a mask.
Yeah. Oh, face mask. Smart.
Yeah, very smart.
Yeah, it's really hard to retake. You can do one thing, it's like a Fnatic style. Just throw smoke, create chaos, and diffuse. It's like one tactic you can do.
It's weird though, because that does feel like one of the better ways to approach it, as ludicrous as that sentiment is. Like, yeah, just make it absolutely fucking wild inside of the site, and just hope that everything goes your way.
I feel like you need numbers to do that, right? You can't, if you're down in men, you can't, like, the cover's never going to be there to stick an open plant. If the T's are ramp and short, and you're 2v3, I feel like it's always lost. Like, you need 3 CTs pushing and spraying and throwing grenades to cause distractions so you can actually get on the defuse.
everything depends on your utility, the other team's utility, and the man's, of course, the man advantage.
Floppy, he's got bottom ramp. He's pushed through the smoke for 2 kills and even cut off the bridge. So 5 on 3, and MIBR are just scrambling to get back to the ramp.
Yeah, it feels so much like Banana and Inferno, the dynamic on A ramp. It's just that on Inferno, like, you have the option on the T side to kind of have another position on the map you can take as part of your default, which is like top mid, which is also really impactful, and you can do a lot from it. But it doesn't feel like you kind of have a similar option like that. And you can see MIBR just reset the situation a little bit. They wait out the smoke. They've only got 3 players, so it makes a lot of sense to just try to hit together, and it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be real tough. But with shots like that, maybe just maybe it could be possible here. Cello opening things up. It is a little bit labored to get into the site, though. They do get an after plant. 3 versus 4. Cello able to just dodge out of the Molotov in time, so able to take post-plant positioning, so it's definitely quite possible. And with that frag as well, it's not even up to a 3v3, and there's only a single smoke left on S attack.
Double up retake as well.
Yeah, and only 1 smoke, so it's gonna be really hard, even though T's so low.
Ooh, yeah, the orbs, right? That's a little bit problematic. Yell's even holding on to his over here. Oh, it's only the tag, and now he does get dealt with, but there's the spray to the bomb, and it doesn't matter because Bolts will deliver from the short side. You know, 1 missed shot with that AWP, suddenly the AWP is dead. Second man runs through the smoke, it all gets a bit confusing at the very end. But that's an MIBR round. And yeah, man, I don't know how MIBR managed to sneak that one past the keeper, as it were. You know, they kind of push in, very little time left, not much going their way. They get that opening kill from Cello, and it's like the moment the bomb goes down, even in the 3-on-4, you feel the momentum like switch, right? They have the time to run back to ramp and short. And then they're ready with that horrible crossfire that you have to try and deal with.
Yeah, I mean, last round you could see Chile is running to get the bomb down because he knows that if he manages to get the bomb down and survive for the plant, they have such a good position to win the round.
And also, that's the negative part of double opening. All retakes are really hard.
This is a clean sweep, though. 5 on 1. Messi in the site.
Hey, we're eyeing up another 13-2 into a flawless half from Cloud9. I can feel it. It's coming, all right? So all in good time. It's a nice little flawless round there, you know, to build up some more money. Not that MIBR are really worried about that at this point in time. You know, they're good in terms of the economy. That comes in handy, though. You know, like Yell's a very impactful player when he's got this AWP out, and maybe less so with the rifle, it feels like. So, you know, having that extra bank to reliably bring the AWP out, to not have to worry about like these ramp fights, the fact that Yell's able to excel there, it's a nice look for MIBR.
Yeah, looking pretty good. Fast-paced up A ramp, trying to get ahead of the nades, and pretty successful here ultimately, especially as actually be able to take down Floppy. Nice entry there from him. A repiece coming in from Alex. He knows he has to take down at least 1 player before they move forward, and he's actually going to whiff that shot. That's really unfortunate. I feel like that 1 shot from Alex could really have changed this round quite a lot. I suppose it has, and him missing it and going down. So, so desperate here for Cloud9.
I like that re-smoke, though. It makes things very hard for T's to swing. They can often get spotted before they can see a thing. Eyes in the smoke. Boost coming up. Oh, they're ready for it. There it is. Yeah. I feel like someone just called that to Danica that they saw a jump and knocked out from the bottom.
Yeah, I think in that situation, right, when they got the first 2 entries, it's like Cloud9 have been trying to hold the A side before, but they just can't hold the side and they can't win the retake, so they're like, okay, we have to do something, right? And MIBR are ready for it.
What do you think of these A-ramp boosts? Obviously, this was wood, it's changed to metal. You still get wall banged pretty commonly. I feel like when I watch teams do it at this level, it doesn't work. Like, everyone's so ready for it. And if you do get spotted, we see exactly what happens. The bottom player just gets spammed out.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want it to work, you have to have like a really good plan behind it. You know, put some pressure somewhere else or kind of hide it in some kind of pattern. But yeah, usually on the default you're gonna be spamming the walls and holding those angles.
I've always wondered, right? So for CTs on this map, is like going for mid aggression something that's ever too valuable? Because it does feel like, you know, the majority of fights are just either at those B stairs or at the A ramp, as you say, like that A ramp brawl. Is there ever much point to, like, you know, trying to get forward positioning as the CTs on a mid push?
Against certain teams, I would say yes, because you can gain a lot of map control if you get to lower level. But it all depends, and I would say that most of the teams are really good at holding aggression from mid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had 2 rounds in this map where Cloud9 have walked ladder and pushed down. I think Mezzi did it once and S-Tag another time with Deagles. And both times MIBR have been watching ladder from bottom A, so they're at least staying aware of it.
Yeah, I feel that most of the top teams are very good at doing that and punish you.
Oh, I like this spot from Mezzi. Are they going to clear it? Oh, he's ducking down below. Oh, 4 players spams to the Deagle. It's a team kill in the mix as well, but he's done the damage.
Yeah, he did a good job there. That's a situation when you're like, oh no, I got the Deagle, you know? Because the M4 is like 4 kills.
Maybe just maybe they can do something else though. They've got another creep through the smoke. Alex, he's gonna pick up an AWP maybe, but he'll be denied. 2 versus 2. There's a decent amount of time here, so MIBR can walk around the map. But oh god, is that some? Was that just knifing the air there? So that's gonna give a nice sound cue to SAC. Well, he's picked up the AK, and he is an absolute beast. And he has a smoke as well. He's picked up the AWP. Is he? Okay, there we go. The AK for the retake makes a lot of sense. There's no utility really from MIBR. They had the single HE, so might be a good opportunity here for a floppy for a clutch.
He's pretty late though with no kit, so it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, he's walking so much because they could be pushed, but they're not. So I feel like if you don't get the first kill here for free, you probably just go back and save.
Oh, okay.
No time.
Is it the one and traded? Is it the golden prophecy coming true? Oh, there it is. 1 out of 2 ain't bad. But there it is, right? 10 on the board for MIBR. That little flank back to A works wonders for them.
They've done that twice now.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, right, like, it shows that they have a knowledge of kind of where the purchase is at for Cloud9 as well. You know, like, just leaving, getting out the danger, not taking the fights. The fact that SHZ has that aggro push as Jaquino, I think, pointed out there, you know, it was really, really good timing, especially with the noise being made coming up the ramp, right? It lulls them in to go for that fast rotate, gets him a free kill. And then in the 2v1 versus a guy with no kit who's having a sneak the whole way on the rotate, you're pretty screwed there if you're unfortunate enough to be Cloud9 in that situation.
Yeah.
Was this the first timeout?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we've had any thus far. So pretty late on, considering how one-sided this score is.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I would like them to try something crazy here. I mean, obviously nothing is working really. So they should go outside the box now and try something not the standard play.
What do you recommend?
Ooh, it's hard, but something crazy like 4A. They did it on the force buy, but something like that, and really push them back on A because they've been pretty successful on A. Or as you said, like maybe a double push mid, or take the B lobby with 1 and get back or something like that.
Floppy pushed ramp earlier and killed 2 with an MP9, so we know that is in the pocket of Cloud9.
Yeah, exactly, and that was something out of the box, and it worked.
Yeah.
See, on top of that, I think when you look at teams like Furia, especially when they were competing in NA, something they did a lot there was going for things like ramp aggression, right, and trying to take that territory away. Obviously, I feel like it never works as well versus EU teams. They really seem to hammer down on like holding the ramp area. But the fact that, you know, you're up against MIBR, maybe who have shown to be a little more shaky on this map, such as versus Heroic, you know, maybe you could get away with those pushes.
Yeah, but the thing is that they are down 2 to 10, and they really need to get something else because their game plan doesn't work right now. So then you need to do something else.
The thing is also sometimes you can get tricked as well, because even though they had some rounds where they fought A ramp and maybe it wasn't working because they were down so much, maybe they just lost some duels, and then they might just think that that's not working, let's move to something else. But in reality, it was the right call, but it just didn't work out that round, you know.
B pressure. Alex pushed back off of Molly, default, it's Molly. S-Tag's on a flank, it's about time. We've got a mid-round flank here. And 20 seconds as well. If they can stall the plant, if they can drop the planter, maybe it's in the smoke, it's in the open, it's right in front of them, but they can't see. The flank is activated. S-Tag one, jumping on the box, Cello gone, and Donaco is late in middle. The bomb's for him though. Oh my, they planted exactly for this position. Surely they're ready. The kill is there for Alex. Good cover. But I love that idea to get that plant in, you know, open. You never see that plant because obviously it's so open, so risky.
And that's the thing, when it's something out of the what you normally see, you think twice, right? So, oh, this is not a standard plant. Someone can be behind, for example. But it was a really good lurk from EasyTag when he pushed and got behind.
Yeah, it's all about finding that timing, right? Going early. MIBR have been playing slow below A and have killed them. But now Cloud9 know they can hit maybe a late round timing down the ladder when MIBR are committing. Let's see if we get any more of that in these last 2 rounds. 5 would be just enough, maybe. Throw in a pistol and you're golden. But Cloud9 are relying on a lot.
After that overpass game as well, where I'm just very afraid that we'll just get some kind of repeat of that. But I think that's really unlikely.
Yeah.
Imagine if that happens 2 maps in a row. That's not good for your team mentality, that's for sure.
I feel like we've tempted fate as well by saying, yeah, it shouldn't happen again. Well, now it feels like it's destined to happen again. You know, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, MIBR in the lead right now. Things are looking good, and they're setting up once again. Very heavy presence over here towards ramp. You got players rotating up now to join them from down towards that B side of the map. Cloud9 trying to hold on. Alex with the openers, putting this AWP to good use. And this is nice. Finally, MIBR have had to kind of, you know, they haven't just gotten all the respect. They haven't been given all the room here at ramp. They're kind of trapped. There's one of the openers they needed. They trade as well onto Floppy. Numbers still lying with Cloud9. They want to get this bomb down, but these smokes are going to start to fade soon, and then it gets a lot harder to get into this site. Bolt's creeping in. That's a nice shot to Mezzy. You're hoping the trade comes through, and there it is from S-Tag. So just Cello left, but he's pretty good in these clutches. I wouldn't write him off just yet. How much do Cloud9 want to pressure him? They let him get the bomb down, but the moment he stands back up, Alex is there, ready to go to put 4 on the board for Cloud9.
Yeah. As you mentioned, if you get to the last round here, the game is still live if you win the pistols. So, and you have that mental factor from the last game when they lost in that way. So you will get second thoughts if it will be near this map as well, I would say.
I think no matter the halftime scoreline, Alex is saying, come on, boys, let's just remember that last map and don't give up, don't give in. Anything's possible. And he's not wrong.
Alright, so typical stuff going on. And Danico is trying to get ahead of the initial nades. No one close though, actually. So Cloud9 playing a little bit further back. Not to see this works out for them. Bolts is creeping in mid as well. So it's ultimately quite a passive approach this round from Cloud9's defense. Ooh, that was so close to a miss there. Yeah, was completely blind, but times that very nicely to take down Floppy. Huge frag to find. A lot of time left in the round as well for MIBR to play with. And with Bolts on this huge flank, I don't think they have any idea about this. Ooh. This is devastating.
And they just hold off. They could even rotate bomb, but they're just waiting for Bolts to get multiple kills, and they are right in front of him. Oh boy, he could double down here with ease. He's trying to find that second without exposing himself though. At a certain point, you just take the kill and unleash the beast. Everyone runs in, Bolts doubles up. There's still Zephyr at short, but players on all sides. That's a really well played round by MIBR. No way Mezzy has a chance here. 1 on 5. They've even mollied his entry.
Yeah, it was a really good flank, but that's a round I feel like C9 did a really good thing, but got punished for it. It was perfect timing for that flash in yellow, but he was totally white and no-scoped him. So they did a really good thing, but got punished for it.
Damn. Can't win them all, man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate when you are 4 times down.
And now it's worse. 4-11, MIBR looking to take this to a third map, looking to make this series long as well. But we know Cloud9 like comebacks, and we'll see if this second half is full of that as well as it was in the first. Join us in just a moment.
Oh, and we're back. It's right now MIBR in the lead. Things are looking up right for the Brazilian squad, trying to do right after that overpass defeat earlier on. Also, a little round of applause for the Fnatic guys. We got Jaquinho and Samuelson joining us for this one. They're second-time callers, long-time listeners here of the stream. So we're going to be hopping into this together, into the second half. MIBR with this CT side now, and a pistol round. Well, that could really help get them to the victory here. But it's not a good start. They lose a man early, and this A site, it's already overrun by Cloud9. But look at where the bomb is. It's going through mid to this B site, in through construction, around the world, and back again.
Wow.
And that's Cloud9 getting the pistol.
So you boys are doing a bit of recon, right? As far as I'm aware, winner of this game is going to face Fnatic in the playoffs. So you better have your notepads out, right?
Yeah, for sure. And Cloud9, they already won twice as many rounds as the last map, and they won, and now they won the pistol, so yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So what you're saying is it's easy for Cloud9 at this point, really.
Yes, exactly. Compared to the last game, it's easy.
Let's see if history can repeat itself. For the sake of my mental state, I hope it doesn't. I don't think I can mentally deal with knowing that MIBR have it fall apart twice in a row. You hope that they're better than that and that they can keep this going and get us to a third. But right now, you know, it's just this force buy. They've gone for it. You know, pretty ballsy. Lots of smokes here. So maybe anticipating that this A-site play could come in and then they can try and use them in the retake. Because it's a bit of an awkward map to go for like these smoke delay plays on. You can smoke short, but top ramp feels like kind of anyone's game once that T-side utility goes over.
Nice shot. Was that from a boost? SOC? I'm not sure, but
I didn't actually catch it. I just heard the Deagle fire off, and then suddenly he's got 1 kill.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad. It's definitely not bad. There's a lot of util here for Cloud9. So they're just going to continue to slowly creep up. And
that's the boost.
Working out. 3v3. It's starting to get a little bit awkward. Still plenty of time, though. Oh, that helps a lot.
Crispy. From a range with the UMP, if you want to make this comeback happen, you can't lose to the pistols. Not in the second round. I need this plant, and the smokes and mollies are down, so they've been given a window of opportunity. The nade, or if Alex was planting, he'd be dead, but instead, S-Tag able to get it. Oh, not far. At least some damage done. It's all on Mezzy, really, to finish this round.
This is very scary. There's the smoke down on the bomb as well, so the pressure's starting to get laid on top of C9. There's no kit though. That's very unfortunate. So it will all come to a close in the end. But that was a great effort though. They did a lot of damage. They kept the economy of Cloud9 honest, and they could even buy a couple pistols here as well if they really wanted to. So good start for Cloud9. You know what? I think it's just going to happen, isn't it? They're definitely winning this game. I was thinking it last half. I'm like, this is just going to happen again, and I just didn't want to say it, but I'm just going to say it. I can't hold it in anymore.
Get in there early. Bite the dip. Oh. Do you guys lose feed or just me?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, same for us.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
We're casting blind here, gentlemen. It's a real trial by fire for you two. So it's anyone's guess what's happening, but if I had to hazard a guess, I would say MIBR in like maybe a 5-on-4 right about now. You know, things are looking good.
Why are you guessing?
I don't know, man. It's probably better than just saying nothing, isn't it? So
did he force again, or was it
I think it's Fulico, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, so Cloud9 have just won 12 rounds in a row.
We're going to come back in, and it's 14-14, all tied up. Overtime on the cards. It's really anyone's guess what's happening at this point, and I mean that in the purest of terms. Right, so yeah, this happens sometimes, guys. In the on.
Wait, did we just lose Harry and Hugo as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Just lost you, Harry. Mission?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Okay, so
no, that was courtesy of Mr. Hugo Byron there. Just exited us from the.
Well, the stream's in the other Discord room actually, so if you do want to watch it, you know, it's in the meeting room.
Can I just say this? Because all I can see right now is the Fnatic studio. You two are looking great. That's basically all I have to say on the matter right now. Hopefully we can get this sorted. I'm quickly raising the red flags. Right now, Twitch chat. I'm pretty sure the game is live.
Okay.
So yeah, right now Twitch chat actually have more information than all of us, and that's a pretty unique feeling. I mean, Twitch chat are like the collection of smartest people in the world, I think.
Oh, it's back.
Okay, yeah, we're back.
Nice.
Nice one. Jaquino got it fixed for us.
Yeah.
Technician on the sidelines.
Oh, it's GG. MIBR have won.
So they won the Fulico, but now they are in a bad situation.
Ooh, but they catch him in rotation, so that's bolts out.
Bomb?
Ooh, in mid.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. Oh, that's rough.
That's not good.
Only
one Molotov.
Look at this.
One Molotov. This
Look at this
really
situation. Oh, this is going to be hell. And now they realise Mezzy with the spray, but he's only good for a double. You know, they get it kind of close. They do some damage at least, right? They're going to force 3 reinvestments for MIBR.
Yeah. That's a really important round as well from MIBR to shut down the first gun round.
Yeah, not many opportunities left. Cloud9 do have the money, right? The anti-ecos were fairly clean, at least the first one, or the USP one I imagine was fairly clean. I hope. Got
Still
money.
just having a guess.
Yeah, so I imagine it was, Harry. No AWPs though. What do you make of the AUG, Giacchino? Do you play the AUG much? Seeing that more and more.
Yeah. I think it's a bit underrated still. It's a lot more situational, I'd say, though, since before. But yeah, I think I rate the gun pretty high.
I have to agree, it's very underrated, especially on some maps. You can really use it.
Yeah, I think train it's so popular on, right? And that makes a lot of sense, like considering all the long angles towards like outside. Even here on Vertigo, I think it's got its uses like at ramp, right? I think it's a pretty devastating weapon at the A site.
Yeah, I mean, even at the back of B site, right? Like if you're holding the stairs solo, you can use the scope, and it's gonna be really hard for a lurker to come up and try to get in.
So messy. Danico, he's really good with that gun. The time's ticked though. Floppy just needs to stay alive. They tap it to force him, and he kills him immediately. Ooh. Floppy, the beast, wins the round on his own at the back of the site. And yeah, that was a good util for MIBR, right? Like they molly out the default player. I think it was Alex, forced to rush. Floppy close, whiffs his spray, he's blind. Well, not Floppy, someone else. Either way, a round's a round. MIBR take too long hiding behind those CT smokes, and the bomb will go off. Cloud9. Oh! Very up close for Yao. So maybe still on the docket for Cloud9, maybe still a chance. A reset round to MIBR might push them to eco here. We'll see what their money's like.
I think both teams are pretty poor.
Yeah, of course, 4 players dead.
Yeah.
And then 5 Cloud9, and yeah, no one has money in the replay, so I imagine it drags forward, and we have a force or a half buy from MIBR, pistols and armor versus Galils.
So would you have force bought here? That's my question to you guys, you know, because obviously the money's in a rough spot for both teams. MIBR have kind of played it safe, right, and kept some money left, so now they can buy up next round. Oh, hang on, is this a run boost? Yeah. Are they going to give it a go? Let's see it.
The backwards
these make me nervous. Oh, it's not a good start.
Times the charm.
Oh, he's done it. And he gets the kill. Oh, and the double.
Yeah, good play, but really risky because they have so bad weapons.
DreamHack Masters, Astralis failed it in like back-to-back rounds, I think.
Yeah, versus Big, right? Yeah. Oh, hang on a minute. This isn't over yet. Look at this. How on earth did they pull it back? Oh, they haven't. That's how. It's all on TL. 1v2. Still winnable. Still doable. But only armed with the Deagle. And they are getting... Oh, I'm kind of trying to make it exciting, aren't I? But then Mezzy just ruins it completely. So 9 on the board for Cloud9. And the risky run boost pays off.
It's happening,
Dan. It really did. But they're still pretty poor. They killed 3 people. So I think it was a pretty good round for them.
Dan, you're looking more right by the second, and I'm getting more scared by the second.
Uh-oh.
If they win this round, it will be really scary.
Yeah. Got the AWP out. It's a big buy. Oh, I like the boost. Zeppa going over. CTs are crunching. They're sneaking into the fray. Shiz on short with the AWP behind him.
Ooh, oh, that's a huge kill as well, especially given the fact that MIBR don't have as much utility as they would like, you know, incendiaries and so on, you know, really missing flashes. And so they're not really going to be nearly as strong in the retake or playing the slow round. And now they're down 4 against 5. So Cloud9, it looks really possible for them to get a solid reset in here on their economy. it kind of feels like it's going to come down to, it has to come down to some big individual moment from somebody like Yell here. Although with that said, we do have Cloud9 moving towards that B site, and
You need
Yell
at
won't
least
be
2
able to
kills.
respond.
At least 2 kills here.
Cello good for it though.
Molly's everywhere. Oh, he's so blind. He's nowhere to play. Both spots mollied at the site. Bolts is only good for one, and yeah, that's the round maybe. And maybe I might want to consider saving this orb.
Yikes! Yeah, wow, this is looking really rough, isn't it?
What's happening?
Yeah. The
What's
mental
happening?
part is kicking in now for sure.
Guys, don't throw it again.
How do you even make that speech and make it sound pretty, you know? Like, well, this has happened once, let's not have it happen twice, we're better than that. This is rough though, this is scary. Something I'm wondering for you guys, does the CT side feel quite punishing? Because it certainly looks like it would, right? Like if you lose a round at the minute, CT side, even with max loss bonus, if you're not saving, you know, like let's say, really, I think the ideal number is probably 3 guns, right, to drop back around, then you get a buy. But if not, it kind of feels like T's get like 2-for-1 rounds, essentially, you know, like they win one, then they're up against like a partial buy a lot of the time.
I mean, it depends on the team. I mean, I think SMGs and like cheaper weapons can be really good, but you need to have a plan for it. I mean, but like fighting the A ramp with 4 or 5 players with just low guns could be really successful actually. But yeah,
I like that idea. I like that, man. Because I think it's short, like the short side peak combined with like the top ramp peak, even with those SMGs, like, you know, just create chaos again, right?
Yeah.
That's quite like a common theme when it comes to holding down this A bomb site. Is like the more uncomfortable you feel, the more uncomfortable they feel, and then you can try and thrive in all that chaos with things like Mac 10s, well, Mac 10's wrong, MP9, Deagles.
yeah.
Yeah. Some bomb sites utility is key, not the weapon.
Well, because it feels like now as well, like this bottom ramp smoke that used to get thrown in like all the time, I don't feel like it's as effective anymore because teams started to throw, I think it was a big smoke, you know, the one that just goes in front of it to give you like a kind of corridor. Do you guys are you all about that deep ramp smoke? Oh, hang on a sec, this has actually kind of gotten pretty excited. How on earth has this just happened? All right, the kind of weak buy has gotten it over the line by the looks of things. Alex is suddenly left in a 1v4 and he can't do anything. So that's the round that MIBR find. It's just this chaotic hold at B.
Yeah, that was really crazy actually, but that's a round that gives you some confidence back, and we can win even though we have a low buy, for example.
The only worrying thing is that it's almost one of those things where, you know, you have a crappier buy, so you're not, you don't expect to win. You take more risks, you're a little bit more confident, perhaps. But how do you replicate that when you got the full gun round?
Yeah.
It's like such a different type of round. Well, they're going to go fast at least up a ramp here for Cloud9 and straight into the defense. Ooh, that's so close to taking down SHC. He goes down really low. Trade's coming through here, but great response from Yao. He is the difference maker here. A nice 2K to slow things down, but Floppy is really insane. Like his mechanics are so nuts. He really could.
Here's a jump in CT. There's a flank. That's the question mark. Floppy looking for the 1v1 now. I feel like he already knows he's being flanked. Yeah, now he can go B. Oh dear, he's done it.
Such a good play. Oh, he's going back.
Oh no. Oh no. He had the right idea. What's he thinking?
Oh.
Now, looking at CT, walking back short. It's still a good spot. Can he get in cover in time?
The timing.
Again. Twice.
Oh, he's got Molly as well.
He should know.
And now he knows.
Oh, the Molly's good.
Yeah.
He's done it. 1v3.
Yeah, no
I
kid.
think so. Yeah.
Wow. Floppy has no idea.
I got the kid. Okay.
Ooh. He has no idea how fortunate he was in the timings in that round. My God.
2 timings in a row.
I wonder if it was a call from his teammates for him to go back. Because he had info on the player that was on the flank, right?
Yeah, I feel like when you make such an aggro play to... No, he didn't have info on the flank, but when you make such an aggro play and you kill the elevator guy there and you don't get traded, surely the realization sets in like, oh, if he's not here... Because he killed Yao 15 seconds earlier. Like, that's enough time for a rotate. Hey, he won the round, so... Can't say anything. Great play from him. 13-11. So MIBR, it's not an empty half, right? They've had rounds, but Cloud9 is certainly making this full comeback look realistic.
It's annoying for S-Attack. I wonder if, yeah, Bolt's looking for info there. I think S-Attack was able to dodge away, so Bolts didn't really get any info off of that. Okay, he knows at least 2 players have to be on these steps. Presence towards the A ramp as well, so a much slower round here from Cloud9. There's no utility remaining, basically, except a smoke for MIBR. So a lot of the pressure falls onto the individuals here in their setups, the crossfires.
So many close rounds, so both teams are poor all the time.
It's a hard situation as well from MIBR because they wanted to go for that B retake before with double Molotovs, but they didn't get anything out of it, so now they have no utility to hold the B site. So they're just gonna gamble towards the ace.
Oh,
yeah.
Hook, line, and sinker. Floppy may die. That might tempt them into the retake. They've realized they're running.
I was buying the fake.
Oh no. Good cover. As he's dead, Zeppa can't go anywhere. Alex is late, and they're going to headshot him out of the round. 14 for MIBR.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good round from C9.
Yeah,
but,
it was.
But yeah, because they got the information with the B retake there, so they went for the. It was a perfect round to call the A fake as well. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good round on C9 actually, and they bought the fake so much. All 5 players went towards J. And
yeah, I don't think the whack weaponry helped C9 there. Glil and Mac-10 in the post plant. Alex didn't even really get a shot off with the orb. And Chiz is very quick at running back in and not giving them the space to get a bomb down and go back to the stairs or pick a spot. Just stuck in their place.
And really bad buy here. Not even 1 AK.
Oh, they're gonna go for the run boost again, yeah.
It makes me nervous every time. Every time.
Yeah,
but it's worked again.
Yeah.
It's worked again. All right. Bit more exciting now. M4 retrieved as well. Alex is deeper than they're ready for. Ooh. Ooh, it's exciting. It's a little bit of spice into the game. And this might just have to be a save right away.
Yeah, that kill on balls too, just allowing that like really fast forward positioning. It's just like no chance. Love to see the run boost. Love to see it.
I really like that with the map actually, because it's really risky, but it can pay off. It's like a gamble.
Yeah, I feel like we need, I wouldn't call that a skill jump in the traditional sense, but I feel like we need more skill jumps in this game. Like, remember old school Nuke, man, when you could fly up heaven and drop into the site? Like,
on the mountain.
Yeah. There's so many cool things that got removed. I mean, well, this one's more buggy, but if you remember Nuke, 2014 Nuke on CSGO, where you could even, there was a box in the middle of ramp room, a big box that you could run boost off, and you could go like on these pipes above hell. I can't even explain it. The big yellow pipes. If you know it,
the kind of like glitchy run boost, where like you weren't really meant to be there.
No, absolutely not. For years you could do that. I did it in every matchmaking game I could.
Same with the Nuke on 1.6. So many places you can jump up to.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like the element of movement, especially in professional play, is just amazing. But so especially like more modern games, we had this era for sure where it felt like developers just like didn't recognize that they only looked at movement as something that if it was difficult or had a skill ceiling that was high, that was actually like a barrier to entry for the casual audience, and that didn't add to the gameplay very much. But I feel like things are changing a little bit, and we're getting more games like now coming out where people developers are realizing movement's actually super satisfying and actually be really amazing and accessible.
And I love to watch that. Good movement is just as good as like a one big or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to be really good at movement as well.
I mean, there's different areas of movement as well. Like some people can, for example, like have good movements where they can do long jumps, but there's also some players who just like move around the map super smoothly without making any noises in different situations, stuff like that.
Like pathing, right? Like not hitting walls, like the fastest path to a position.
Exactly.
This is a huge round right now. Cloud9, they were 11-4 down at the half. They're trying to pull the comeback. They did it 13-2 down on overpass. They won a flawless CT side.
So my question for you, Harry, is this an overtime game? Yes or no?
It feels like it could be, and if I know my Counter-Strike like I think I do, I think it's got overtime written all over it, if I'm being honest. Especially, you know, with this little double spray down coming in. This round now for Cloud9 is very rough, like very unlikely as well. And yeah, I mean, so it's 15 for MIBR. I don't know, man. I feel like this is the kind of game, if I ever had to pick one where I said, yeah, OT, this would probably be it. Because, you know, Cloud9, they've just gone on this huge streak of rounds to get here. Yeah. I don't know if you're going to get the instant back-to-back to close it out if you're MIBR. I don't know, man.
They only got one kill,
not liking it.
If they killed like 3 or 4, they would have
Yeah, it would have been way easier, wouldn't it? Just because of the money.
Isn't this the point where they can say, surely Cloud9 can't make this comeback, and then they make the comeback?
Yeah, you need to say that.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Yeah, the curse.
Get the line in,
I mean, there's no way that Cloud9 are going to win this game in overtime. There is 0% chance of that happening.
Oh, Zeppa just ran through a Molotov down to 7. That's kind of ugly. And now they even see cello getting aggressive. Oh no! Oh no!
I told you guys.
Oh no!
Yeah,
No way they win this round.
No chance. This might be a 3-map series after all. If MIBR have their way, only a few kills away from it.
Which is the last map?
Inferno.
Good final map for this. Nice little spray there from Danica. 16-12 indeed. MIBR able to close it down against Cloud9. And I mean, that's a great setup for the third map, given that MIBR really, I mean, they should have won that first map. You know, all things considered, Cloud9 had an amazing performance to take it back. But ultimately, here we are, 1-1. The great reset.
Yeah, you guys learn much for your upcoming game. Who do you think's winning this series from face value, right? Inferno to finish.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know too much about these teams on Inferno. But I don't know. I feel like MIBR were really strong mentally, bounced back from that comeback from C9. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with MIBR for the last one.
Well, let's find out. I mean, we are going to be throwing over to a break, I think, and then we're back with the third map of Inferno, the culmination, the last team to go through to the playoffs here for CS Summit 007 in just a moment. And we are back. More Counter-Strike, more MIBR, more Cloud9 in just a moment, of course. Inferno's our third map, but let's just quickly go over Vertigo as well. What we saw, what we liked, what we didn't. We've also got Golden here as well, filling in for Samuelson, who will be casting and cursing all of our clutches in this third map as well. How's it going, Golden?
I'm alright. I was watching the stream. I was like, yeah, I need to be on the third and curse more. I didn't feel like you guys cursed enough.
No, exactly.
Mate, we tried. We're just not blessed the same as you are, Golden. You're just built different, I think, is the problem. Because, I don't know, man, no one manages to both predict and curse the same amount you do, man. No, I think, honestly, I think Cloud9 could have done with some of that in this, you know, a little divine intervention. Because it felt like they were getting back into that game. You know, they got it so close, only to then lose out right at the very end.
Classic.
The money started to fall apart, right? And they have that one round where it's a bit of like a mishmash buy. They throw that A fake in where they actually end up on B. And you know, it just felt like, you know, their numbers were dwindling. The weapons weren't really able to hold up in those long, drawn-out fights. And I think the rotations from MIBR there at that point in time were really good, and it kind of gave them the confidence and the ability to get that game closed out quickly, you know, without having their money broken, without like it coming down to some force buy in round number 30. So that was nice to see from MIBR at least.
Yeah, like I was sitting watching at my desk, and I felt like MIBR played or got caught off in the gimmicky stuff that C9 did, and hopefully they will talk about it in their break, because there were so many like scenarios where one guy died and they had the site all the time, or they just made a mess out of when they didn't need to.
Yeah, I feel like the mentality is good. That's one thing we can rely on in this series, right? Not just pulling the comeback and overpass, but almost doing it there from 4 rounds in the first half to making that game close. So the attitude is good. We know that, you know, on a good head on Alex's shoulders, to say the very least. So hopefully, you know, mentally Cloud9 is still in this one, but it can get pretty tiring playing a BO3. As players, how do you incorporate that, right? Like fatigue in playing long games. Do you think that affects you a whole lot?
Yeah, I mean, if you like, you have to kind of reserve your energy and know how to. You cannot get hyped all the time because, you know, you will destroy yourself in the end. And just like try to keep calm consistently throughout the match is the way to go. And if there's a very long game, and then you really need to step out of your chair and go for a walk. That's something we always do.
Good advice. Dan, how are you feeling about this third map?
I think this is, I mean, we just had the bet wheels there, and it was like just totally even for both teams. I kind of feel like that. I really don't know who's going to win this game. I think MIBR surprised us a lot with how good they are coming into this tournament. And I think the same can be said for Cloud9. Alex in a completely new role, a very young team in many respects, but they've been playing really well also. And their individual level is kind of insane. So yeah, I have no idea, honestly, absolutely no idea which way this one's going to go. So it should be, I think, the perfect finish for this best of 3.
Well, we will be finishing it in just a moment. We're going to throw to a break. We'll be back in 3 minutes with this culmination and the final team to go through to the playoffs of CS Summit 007. So stick around. Inferno is coming soon. Welcome back, CS Summit 007, Golden and Giacchino here from Fnatic, as well as Harry and DDK to bring us through this last game of group stages, or last chance, I guess, right? We had the Swedes here earlier in NIP and Dig. NIP took that one as well, and now we find out who's going through to face Fnatic in the playoffs. So this is certainly a nice feeling for you guys getting to, you know, not just watch, but dive deep into the matchup that you'll be facing up against, obviously, coming up tomorrow, I imagine.
Yeah, correct.
And Inferno to do it as well. So odds are pretty split. Odds are pretty close. MIBR slight favors, but I think at this point it's kind of, you know, I couldn't make a prediction. I don't know if anyone else wants to put their life on the line and tell me who's going to win, but yeah, I don't know.
Easy for MIBR. Like I said, from the moment they were 13-2 up, there's no way they lose this series. Yeah. And yeah, you know, like, yeah, I mean, within the context of the map, don't I look like a fool, but I don't know, man. MIBR, they've got me convinced. I don't know why. I really don't know why, especially not after some of the performances we've seen. But yeah, man, no, I don't know. I like this team. I've spoke about it a lot, how, like, you know, these guys were stuck down in, like, South America while everything was kind of region locked. And so it's nice to feel like this is all building to something. And, you know, like, they're getting more chances to compete with this this old boom core internationally. I think that's pretty cool. And, you know, what must that be like, Golden, as the IGL of Fnatic now having to face them, maybe, well, I say, having to face them, maybe having to face them. Is it more of a challenge when a team's been, like, region locked, if that makes sense?
Yeah, you have more like randomness coming in from those teams, especially because you first you can watch it, but you haven't experienced it, so that's a big factor coming in. They're basically we never played against them, and they will do stuff that will surprise us and get us caught off guard. Something you can't escape.
No, that's a pretty good way of putting it, I think. Dan, how you doing, man? I feel like I feel like you've been pretty 50-50 on this one since the beginning. Are you still feeling that?
I mean, it's gonna be a close game. I think there's a lot of factors to both of these teams that just make it very hard to predict, hard to rely on really anything. But I'm gonna lean slightly towards MIBR, so I will choose them. Ooh. But I think this is gonna be a really close game, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing a great game from Yell as well as Alex. I want both of the AWPers to be really able to kind of do their best here, and we'll see. I mean, Cloud9 did a really great job against Furia yesterday, and they on this map, and it was because they had a great CT side. So we'll have to see if they can replicate that CT side against MIBR.
Yeah, Yell's very, very audacious on the CT side of this map when it comes to AWPing down mid. I feel like we don't see as many CTs AWP, you know, fully down to the T ramp as much as they used to. But Yell, nothing stops him. And nothing's going to stop Cloud9 from hitting this B bomb site. Cello and Bolt's waiting in the wayside. Oh.
Man, this is a brawl. So yeah, no, dude, Cello has been, like, I think in these last few games, especially, like, the standout individual. I think him and Yell are two of the big difference makers. But this round isn't over yet, and Alex and Mezzi are showing us that, right? The two UK flag gents popping off there. Have to get that mention in at least once a series, I reckon.
Guys, my prediction, he gets 2 and dies.
Okay. Straight back on it. Straight back on that same bullshit from Golden. I love it. I love that that's what we get. Yell, let's see, man. Does the prophecy come true? Ooh, it's going to be tricky to get to.
If they don't triple swing him, he gets 2.
All right. Ooh, there's the swing. Oh, they do triple swing him. But you covered your bases there, Golden. I like that, right?
Play both sides, so you're always on top. Great shots from Cello, but not enough for the round.
Yeah, he has a really crisp aim. I'm not sure if he, like, lifts his mouse after each swipe he does with it. It looks really crisp.
So you get force the force, yeah. And man, these are always dangerous on Inferno. So we'll see what Cloud9 do in their anti-force fight. Taking some initial top banana control is a nice start. We've got a stack towards the porch side, which is It's great normally because you can often get isolated with like an arch smoke or something when teams are defaulting. So that's one of the reasons why CTs will like to try to stack there if they want to fight top mid, as opposed to waiting for you to execute on a site. That can be a good way, good little setup to force the action.
Yeah, I think Inferno is one of the better maps to buy to have these types of buys, because it's such, you know, so close range. Easy to get up in their face with your pistols and SMGs.
Yeah, I agree. It's such a fun map to force buy on.
Yeah. Also, like one smoke can block an entire entryway, and you can just. That's why a lot of teams go for these types of buys with like 4 or 5 smokes, and you just rotate around and smoke off the same paths.
Yeah, such it's been an approach I think we saw from maybe Astralis, like with one of the very first teams, like back before the economy changes. And that's a long time ago. I remember they would really create a lot of problems for teams like this. And now it's like such a standard approach. And I mean, yeah. look at this. I mean, MIBR have wasted so much time. There's 20 seconds. If anything goes wrong, they might just lose the round here. Push does come in eventually, and there's no kind of cheeky deagle shots that lands and kind of slow things down. So it looks like they'll be okay, but that honestly feels really scary. Like, do you ever want it to be the case that you just wait out the smokes like that and have only 20 seconds? Or do you feel like they should have pushed one of those top mid smokes with a flash before then?
I feel like very well, where sometimes if they're gonna go in B, they pre-aim the CT and they shoot before they go, and everyone covers their angles, and they go like 3 people in the smoke, all of them jump in, which is very good strategy, like tactic to do going through smokes.
Yeah, it always seems especially important on Inferno too, that you need to know how to challenge the smokes, because like they're just so strong, and especially the banana smoke. I really like it. Like sometimes when you're watching it from our perspective and you're seeing a team that's getting really abused by the deep banana smokes, and they always just decide to take top mid and they never challenge it, and they're just like playing the CT's game at that point, and that's always like quite hard to watch because you feel like you just got to challenge that smoke every so often, so they can't just get the stacks for free.
Yeah, you gotta make them afraid that you're gonna jump through the smoke once or twice. I feel like in a perfect game, but it's very hard. People are playing anti-flash or playing around the smokes much better than before.
Yeah, the overall level of Counter-Strike, it's just I can't get over it. Just year to year, it's just improved so much. Like thinking back to 2015, 2016, like back then people still didn't know really how to use grenades. It really felt like, and it's just changed so much. The level's so much higher.
I remember when, you know, Go came out and pros were complaining about Molotovs because obviously they weren't a thing in ye old days, and people saying like, oh my god, why are these in the game? Like, this is so weird, it's completely changed. But hey, they are, well, here we are, what, 8 years later, still working.
Yeah, like just like looking at like Yakinio when we watch his games and such on, and you could already see that like even in the tier he was playing it, they're using their utility much better than like 2016, 2015 maybe tier like the tier 1 scene. So people are improving a lot during even the online season because they have more time on their hands, finding more gimmicky stuff or making their everything consistent.
So that's like a follow-up question, I guess, to that, Golden. What if there's one thing specifically or multiple things or anything that comes to mind, like what, when you pick up Giacchino, what's the most attractive thing about him? Like why this player? Because yeah, hair, that's up there. But there's, you know, there's so many players that are so good at all levels. You know, what makes you stand out? It's just, yeah, however you want to answer that question, really.
First off, the hair.
Yeah.
+1. Yeah, same hair plus me, and like yeah, we kicked it off from there. Like no, mostly I really like the work mentality and to approach the game like to be better than yesterday. And I felt like it was so hard to find players in Sweden that way, and also Giacchino's happened to be very talented and good with most of the game. Like overall is knowledge and like everything from utility to positioning and understanding and taking criticism very well. It's a big factor.
Yeah.
Like he works hard.
This you know, like integrating newer players into a team that has experienced players, right? And that's a transition that you went through yourself, and then Brolin obviously had to go through. Do you think that's probably helped now at like understanding what are kind of the fundamentals to learn, most importantly, you know, like the moment you join like a tier 1 organization like Fnatic, where you're going to be playing against these tier 1 teams, because it is very, very different, isn't it, right? Like even kind of the level of like what you would say would be like tier 2 teams to tier 1, the leap is huge, and so it only gets like greater. Do you think the fact that you have guys such as yourself, obviously in the IGL position as well, with like a good understanding of how it feels to be like the new guy, do you think that helps you like at better accommodating someone like Giacchino?
Oh yeah, like you put it perfectly. Like I've been through that road, and thanks to like JW and Crims, I learned from them, and then I learned how I approached it and how I could teach it better, and so on. Like everything playing on stage and keeping calm and such stuff. They all go like somewhere. We all have to start somewhere from the veterans, and I feel like every generation it has improved. Like every new player coming in, it's a different type of approach to that player, because someone else picked up something, minor detail here and there, and you make it more. When you explain it more accurately.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's a really, because I was just looking this up. I remember the first event I ever met you at was GeForce Cup 2017. You were there with Fnatic Academy. You know, like the and Samuelson was there as well, right? So like because then I remember a few months later you went on to join Fnatic for the first time. Obviously, then you had that whole break with C9 at one point, which was an interesting development. I just find that so cool, like. You know, this idea that you're one of these success stories that like went through an academy team to move to the main roster, and how now, you know, you're like one of the faces of Fnatic, which is just like a really cool kind of thought. I think there's a lot of like unique paths in your team, like because you've got you as one of the examples where someone actually moved from an academy team to a main team, which doesn't happen much, as weird as that is. And then obviously Brolin as well, who got in after looking really, really sick at Gamers 2, I think it was, or whatever it was called, which is just unreal. Like the kind of paths in which the players that exist in this team have gone down seem very, very unique, and there's not many examples of it out there.
No, I totally agree. Like a lot thanks to like Fnatic and the players and people around them. Yeah, man. I feel like I feel blessed to be even playing pro CS. Like it's hard to explain, but yeah.
I mean, I can tell as well from my perspective for like the first couple of weeks that I've really noticed that the team has put a lot of effort into thinking about these types of things, like how to integrate a new player, and both inside and outside of the game, and they've been super welcoming and made me feel super comfortable so far. So I couldn't be happier.
So on the flip side of that, Jack, you know, what's some of the difficulties? What are some of the harder things maybe that you did or even didn't expect coming into Fnatic? Are there any struggles?
I mean, obviously it's hard, you know, going from one day to playing against the types of play I was playing against. Yeah, I guess Puggers, but not as professional players. And you know, so overall there's a lot of things I have to learn and that I have to adapt to. But there's, I wouldn't say there's any like super big struggles, but there's some small things that you get punished for, especially inside of the game. But I'd say outside of the game, my approach has always been to try to, even though I wasn't at the best level, I was trying to play as if I was on the highest level. So yeah. I'd say my mindset, I've been trying to work it up to be able to play on this level. But obviously, there's a lot of new things that I have to learn and adapt to.
I think that's a really good outlook to have, though, right? That feel of like playing at the highest level you're capable of, and then like aiming to improve day by day. I think that's something Golden said earlier, right? Like kind of about how you look to approach it, like you know, making sure each day is better than the next. And on top of that, I think, man, like to even get to this point, like the grind is phenomenal. You know, like just to be in a position, you know, and so it doesn't make sense to kind of let your foot off the gas now that you're here. Like this is this is like the moment, you know, to make everything of it. And so it's sick to hear that you are being supported in that, like by the Fnatic organization and the players. I'll quickly focus on this round just because, you know, I've really enjoyed the chat, but I just remembered that actually there is Cloud9 MIBR going on. Woo, look at it go.
Smoke.
This is weird. What? He got glocked. Oh dear.
Bye.
It's all gone weird, man. It's all gone crazy at B.
Smoke.
Oh, but they swing with it. They swing on the back of that smoke at Banana. I like that, right? You don't let yourself get cut off. You're like, well, if he's smoking, he's got nades out. He's prime real estate, so you just eat that up. And Yell's going to have to save, man. This is it. Might not even get away. They're hunting him down. And look at the T apartments. They've actually already got someone deep to take this gun away.
The Orpin Apartments hunter, of course.
Orp on Orp, and the Orp wins. Alex with it.
Why is he there?
Yeah, that was
This is pretty rough, actually. Again, I don't want to like read too much into that Furia game, but Cloud9 did have like a really strong CT approach in the Furia match. So this is a pretty sick start for them, and MIBR can't really stabilize their economy. Which is, I mean, it just feels so awful on Inferno when you just don't have enough nades. Then you can't challenge Banana correctly, and then if the teams play really slow rounds, you don't have the utility to do it, and you have to take all of these gamble stacks because you don't have information, because you can't get information because you don't have the utility. It's just, it feels like MIBR is such. Exactly, it's just having bad economy on the CT side. It really is a problem for MIBR and more. I mean, I don't know what they have planned for their next gun round, but it does feel like an adaptation, change of approach might be necessary. I think often, you know, good place to start is understanding how the dynamic is at Banana and trying to be the winner of that map control. But one thing is that, you know, Alex calls a pretty good game as well. So it's I guess it's not so simple as to sometimes just try to adapt to what they're doing, because he's been really good at just throwing stuff in at a moment's notice to catch people off guard. So
yeah, it's like knowing your opponent, you know, knowing what problems you're presenting to your opponent and knowing what solutions they will do, and then using their solutions against them. We saw that yesterday in that Cloud9 game. I think it was a Cloud9 game where you know, there's a lot of B play out of the gate for Cloud9 on the T side, and then as soon as it was Furia get guns, they immediately triple B, right, to win the Banana fight, and Cloud9 just rush out apps and drop into pit because they know that that's going to be weak. So, you know, trying to be one step ahead of your opponents, you know, in their heads, rent free. Alex's plan right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Working.
And that's the thing too, because Cloud9 got off to that good start, so they get to take the initiative, they get to condition their opponents, set the pace that they want to play, and to create that expectation, whereas the emphasis at what times in the round. So that, I mean, it is tough. It's tough. Golden, what would you be calling your MIBR? What do you want to see?
I feel like they should take banana, or like just to see if they're gonna throw stuff back at him, and then play more heavy mid, because they've kept double Molotoving or Molotoving, or sorry, they've been going slow or taking the mid control. So either they just smoke off long again, and they'll buy themselves even more time because Cloud9 has been smoking it off very late, and they could make it more time crunchy. Because right now, Cloud9 has been going to a side at 20 seconds or 30 seconds. They could could play into their hands. They could use it because Cloud9 is playing much slower paced, and they're taking their time. So be more confident with your nades. Don't use them too early, and use them well. I feel like that could help them make the Cloud9 players more stressed out in pushing the sites.
I had I got a tweet from one of our Brazilian viewers, and he had a question for you, Jaquinho. He was wondering, why do you call yourself Jaquinho? Because he says in Brazil, when you put an Inho in the end, it means little. So your name there would be Little Jack. Is it a similar meaning, or?
No, actually, so like I told you before, when I was younger, I was my dream was to become a professional football player.
Right, of course. Now I see the link in already.
My favorite player was Felipe Coutinho, and my coach would call me Jaquinho.
There we go.
I got it.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't even make the football link, but the moment you said it, I'm like, oh, no, it actually makes a lot of sense already. No, I like that, man. I like knowing the reason behind names. Golden's obvious, man. It's because he's 24-karat bowler, so that one just makes a lot of sense from the get-go.
You're building up me you're building me up so much.
Oh, this pace.
This is a great round to call.
Oh, and they're just on the long side, caught out of position, running through a motor smoke. Like, oh, let's get there quick. Well, Cloud9, they're already deep.
Yeah,
now they're hunting.
Exactly, this round was perfectly timed because they played so slow, then they threw MIBR off.
Cloud9 estourou.
Yeah. I mean, even
Trouxuxa, dois, olha o flop, já conseguiu trazer a CKZ. Flop, perde o Shepa, levou o Tchelle, o Danoco já foi de base. Sobrou o Boltz e o Elzão contra 5, acredito que já chegou no game time.
Realmente, já chegou. O que aconteceu com a defesa agora da MIBR? Essa inversão aí de um player da B.
Só rusharam.
Entraram muito fácil.
The curse.
Like the curse.
Yeah.
No, like I put a
jinxed it.
I saved the guard in case I didn't get correctly.
Oh, you hedged your bets.
Yeah.
Hedging. Yeah, it's
hedging bets is a tricky topic to talk about nowadays, Dan. I would, you don't want to make the game stop. That's the last thing we want. Hey, there's the link in, everyone. We've done it. Cloud9 up 6-2. Tactical pause as well. Pretty good show. Like I say, good show. A lot of restraint. I feel like in when these tactical pauses are called in. I think Vertigo was like a real sign of that, right? We were like what, like 12 rounds deep or something, and MIBR were getting it handed to them at one point in time.
Other way around.
Yeah, right? Sorry, that's it. No, that sounds right.
This series has been crazy.
Yeah, it's so back and forth, man. I don't. What even happened on Overpass? I'm still not over it, man. I still can't believe that was a like 13-2 half.
It was like 10-2 before Cloud9 pulled out
a
pause on CT side Vertigo. So
there's still some time for MIBR, but yeah, it is worrying that like. I think is like we were talking about. We had that I think at 125, the whole team's running up porch into sight, and it's like that they just completely have predicted that MIBR were not going to be anticipating that kind of a timing. And we've been talking about Alex and how he's calling with pacing and how that's been like a huge feature of his philosophy so far in this tournament is playing with pace to really throw off his opponents, and it's working really nicely here so far. I think is like we were talking about. We had that great timing shot off the flashbang. And maybe with that, even though the equipment is pretty poor for MIBR, that could slow down Cloud9 quite a lot. That seems to be possibly one of the errors that they've been making. But I'll hold that thought for now because we might just get a challenge here. Molly to take yellow off the angle, allowing top banana control. Cloud9 don't have any apps presence, so it kind of feels as though this is just going to be go B at this point. top banana control.
Yell, he's very
Cloud9
wide.
don't have any apps presence.
Does a trade come in here, or does he re-aggro and catch players throwing nades? Oh, missed shot. That's nothing. He doesn't even have cover. Cello's dead immediately. Yell re-aggroes the flash again, pushing him back. He goes in for more. Oh, he knows he only has so many shots. Getting trapped in New Box, there is a death sentence. The molly went in. He had to fight. And he gets nothing from it. 4v3, bomb planted, save for MIBR.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing if Yell misses those shots, because they'll at least save the Kevlar and the M4 now. But I think if he hits like 1 or 2 of those shots, that they will try for the retake. Although they don't have a kit, so maybe not. But yeah, that's it doesn't look like Yell's on right now, and that's definitely a problem. He needs to be on. Kind of feels like we want to, like, I would want to see MIBR trying to find ways to take more initiative. It would be even cool to see some kind of apps, like aggressive apps set up or something like that. Ooh, what just happened there?
He dies now.
Yeah, so I was wondering, during the online era where coaches are obviously talking a lot more than usual, how are you guys approaching that? Because I know that some of these teams are trying to have their coach talk less, so that when LAN does come back, you know, it feels more like normal, right? And like, you know, you're not having like this kind of sick voice talking all the time and helping out. And on top of that, you know, what do you guys use the tac pauses for during online play? Is it more to like take a breather and be able to kind of talk in depth about what's going on? Because I imagine that would be a bit hectic doing that in like a mid or end of round kind of scenario.
Yeah, everything from like taking the time out to call around, or if someone made a sick clutch, just to calm the nerves, or you know, just to break the momentum. Yeah. And also, our coach doesn't speak a lot during matches, because mostly, yeah, when he speaks is to just calm the players down and not give like during matches, because mostly of the when he speaks going on, is to just calm the players down. I feel like that's not like, yeah, that's our team. Not much, because we don't have much of the communication going on. Any to just calm the players down. I feel like that's that's our
definitely
not much,
because we don't have always been
when he speaks,
difficult to work around.
I feel like that's
and might be honest,
that's our
picking up that first round was always been difficult to work around. And might be honest,
Quick shout out to that one time. Yeah, no, man, I love it, dude. If that's the solution, MIBR added DDK as a.
Going back to the amp setup as well with Yell with the AWP, I think it is a nice way to try to take some initiative here, because they haven't really been able to just sit back and take the defaults. They need to take initiative, and actually see why is it good timing there. Takes down Floppy. Now the question is, you got the 5v4. How do they want to play it from this point? You want to try to predict what...
Oh, wow. Yeah. That, damn.
Okay.
That's a good move. I like it.
Oh, good luck getting away, though. The spray is in. Not connecting. Actually spamming the wall. But he does some damage on the way out. That's a lovely little play for MIBR. They used 2 smokes in that boost, just waiting.
That's so sick.
Yeah,
and
really nice.
It's so important that SHG gets to kill top mid, because that's what sent Cloud9 back as well to Banana. They didn't feel like they could keep pushing there.
Yeah,
so suddenly,
if he dies, there's only 2 on A, yeah.
It's like MIBR, or rather Cloud9 is dancing to MIBR's music instead for once.
Yeah, now I like the MIBR positioning right after they got the kill. The guy jumped to second, and before he boosted the guy CT.
Clear.
That's kind of brutal, isn't it?
Nice position. How much are Cloud9 paying?
Yeah, this is crazy. Oh, hang on a second. Wow, okay. We're right back in. Don't worry, Golden was right all along.
How many does he get?
No, I predict that the boost was perfect for this. For this to happen.
No, now Alex wins his clutch.
Oh, we got the Jaquinho prediction. We don't get many of them. That's a treat. That's a treat. Let's tuck into it, Alex. He's got Fnatic believing. But does he believe in himself? That's the big question. Ooh, he lets them cross, and now back in with the swing. It's a little wide and a missed shot. That's all it takes. It's close, but it's no cigar.
Man. These games are so back and forth. The same.
Oh, I'm not sure he got it. I actually don't think he got it.
Oh, Zakino got it right. Golden got it right. Calculated.
Yeah, never even worried.
Yeah.
Oh.
Always believing.
Oh, that feels really bad. I feel like they really deserve that. Oh my god.
Yeah, me too. Like, they did everything so good, but it didn't work out for them.
I mean, the same what happened on Vertigo, right? That A fake, and then they went B and they still lost the after plan. This game is really back and forth. It's a good game.
Oh, that is such a heartbreaking round to lose. Especially oh man. Well, I mean, we had some good stuff from MIBR there. I'm sure that they can keep that going. They've been taking more initiative. They've been kind of proactive with it, as opposed to being so reactive. I think if they keep that trend up, it's going to be good. I'm not sure exactly what next they would want to change, because you don't want to just do these apps setups and banana setups every single round. So
yeah.
Ooh, looks like we might get a faster round possibly for Cloud9. Going past the smoke. Ooh, almost. Two more smokes for MIBR. Would it have been cool if Cloud9 had a player with a Mac 10 in a round like this, just to get that information, lurk somewhere.
Oh, all right, Alex. All right, guy. Using the AWP, putting it to good use, and that Molotov was great as well, just to force the fights from the half wall. Good read, right? Knowing that the money's low and MIBR might be attempting something cheeky at top banana. And so now, 2 players over towards B for MIBR. Cloud9 just still aren't moving, man. And I like that. They've already been rewarded for this patience. They know the pressure is more on MIBR's shoulders than it is on theirs. And so they're just seeing what MIBR offer up. They get that trade there. And now the round should be a lock-in, right? You're 4v2. You're not at all worried about it. It's Deagles on the other side. One of these players is low. And they're actually, they don't care so much. They're so unworried that they're pushing both bomb sites at the same time. They're going to, I imagine, go back to A with the bomb, but it shouldn't matter either way. It should just be a lock-in. So there it is. 9 on the board for C9. And a good little patient round, right? Just waiting to see what the pistols are willing to give away and then playing off the back of it.
Key round here from MIBR, right? If they don't want to get completely dumpstered in this map, they need to do something now. Or going for banana fight. Alex is here. CT smoke down, but there was no T Molotov. So Yell can't really get much of a vision. He's still sitting here. The nades are coming in. There's the peek off the flash. Can't get a kill. And you could see on his cam, he was looking away, to see if he got the frag, either another monitor or at the top of his screen. Fully blinded, no idea, but he didn't get anything. And this is now a very dangerous round. Cloud9 in banana. MIBR swapping the AWP out at B.
Yeah, Cloud9 has kept winning the utility fight on banana and is putting MIBR in a big disadvantage every round, seems like.
He could just flat out execute right now. There's very little to stop them, no utility.
Yeah, you have to have some 6 shots or more kills.
Oh, so tough. There is some retake utility and some kits and so on, so could be on. There's no post-mark positioning except the site right now and banana, so that does give MIBR a chance to move in with a couple of Molotovs that they have if they've got some good lineups for those. There is 5 players though. This is it's so hard. It's all their money. Yale has an AWP as well.
Yeah, they should save.
Yeah. It's hard. It's a hard call though to make, I guess, for MIBR. They don't want to do it. And Boss will get one at least.
Nope.
There's a molly for Paul. That'd be great, but it's too late for any of that.
Yeah, this is one of the problems of going for or not going for it. You sometimes get into like between going or not going for it, and that is the worst part you can be in. And that's exactly what happened down the round. You always want to avoid those. You want to make the call very clear. If I get one, we go for it. If I don't, just be ready to leave. They tried to yeah.
I guess they got the first and then immediately traded. So that never makes it easy.
And there were 2 guys in CT spawn as well.
Yeah, Yell was low from the banana nades earlier. He was just sat back waiting for repeaks. Cloud9 not giving away anything though. 10 rounds, man. 10 rounds. MIBR are going to need to be the ones pulling a comeback in this map.
Mate, if I've learned anything from this series, it's that the first half is just for show. Okay, like that's the game really begins in the second half, and that's where all the wildness starts to happen. This is a really nice lead though from Cloud9. I think they've been approaching the game well. You know, like they don't overstep the boundaries on like the anti-eco or like weak buy rounds from MIBR. So they've never really found anything. They've constantly just been breaking MIBR's money, and you've really kind of felt, in some of these rounds where the utility runs out at B, that there is just no hope, and you're looking at them setting up and you're thinking, well, if someone doesn't go huge and like get a multi-kill here, this is probably a Cloud9 round. They're just kind of playing it like nice and safe and by the numbers, and it's not giving us any of these like crazy explosive moments or anything like that, but it is winning them all these rounds, and that's the important part.
Yeah, and just being able to get like top mid so easily, and I don't think MIBR, I mean, y'all might be able to find a timing here. That would be really awesome to get a pick at this point. Also, more importantly than even a pick is kind of getting the info as to like what is Cloud9 actually using top mid for, because if they're just using it to just create some pressure, then they need to know that and know that the intention is B, for example, so they can get the rotate in. Right now, you got just waiting for a push, but Yao should have this, absolutely does. And again, his teammates are there, they have the stack, they see that there's no more players really there in that position, so they can get the rotate to B. So right now, MIBR might be ahead unless Cloud9 go instantly here. And it looks like they may just walk in. This is actually perfect from C9 for the timing. There's a trade as well. The smoke goes down, so they have control of the site now. It's down a man, but they've done a really good job here.
All the boost up. Lots of damage done though, floppy low. Retake is on, Orbs posted. Alex just misses that timing, but if anything, it keeps him alive for longer. A repeat could cost him. We got this flanking spawn as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he's playing the discipline. Mezzi. They line up. Double down, and that might just be the round in the palm of Cloud9's hand. Final kill to find Mezzi. Doesn't matter who gets it.
By Mezzi. Yeah, well played. Well played, Cloud9.
The funny thing is that, wasn't this the scorelines on the first map, but the other way around?
It was 13-2 for MIBR, first map. Second map was 11-4 for MIBR.
Okay. So the MIBR comeback then, just for the poetic justice. That's what I'm going for.
I don't know, mate. They couldn't close a 13-2, so I don't know if they can close a 3-11. We'll have to see. Bad to worse. Oh my, it's just B hit after B hit. I feel like Cloud9 haven't got A in 6 rounds.
Mid-aggression.
Oh,
well, that's nice and clean. That's nice and easy. Cloud9, 12-3. And now we see, can MIBR complete the same feat we saw from Cloud9 on that first map? Or is this a Cloud9 2-1? Join us after the break to find out. Traded.
Look.
Oh.
Look, Golden, frankly, if we're inviting you to the casting desk, you have to invite us to the server, okay?
Ooh,
so Harry wants to debut. He wants an HLTV profile,
man.
so
I think
sub him in.
I think there's already a Harry that plays for Swedish teams that's actually doing all right, but
it sounds fair.
Right, so look at this. We're 12-9. Cloud9 are in the lead, and nothing could possibly go wrong to change that. We're really trying to throw as many curses onto this as we got. You know, we got Curse King Golden in the house as well here, repping this comeback, or I guess repping the Cloud9 victory for it to work. Let's see what pans out, because it's Floppy getting that opener, and they're trying to bait him into Mezzy. Mezzy does kind of jump the gun on the peak. They might have heard that. They should know that. I mean, it was at the same time the flash popped, right? So I'm not certain yet. I like this bait and switch. I'm curious to see how much it gets away with.
Oh, the drive-by.
Is that allowed? is that okay? I don't think that's supposed to happen. It's
now
like
they
running
molly
and spamming a USD. What is this, Valorant? What's going on?
I feel like you can't run in that game, man. Everyone's like glued to the floor.
I don't know, man. Running and shooting was a very, very big issue that people were having, right?
Still good.
It was pretty nutty. I've seen some of the clips from it. But, you know, I try to avoid Valorant clips wherever I can. No offense, Dan. Look at this. S-Tag watching for the walk across. Cloud9 onto 13. Didn't mean to just start some, like, warfare between games. Now it's just an eco for MIB. This actually should be the GG for once. Like, this should be a clean victory if the Counter-Strike gods are permitting, right? But they work in weird ways, do the CS gods. We never know how this is going to end up. We got a little force buy coming in for MIBR. What's a good force call if you got this many smokes? Were you thinking like a fake to get thrown in and hoping that they over-rotate or something? I don't really know.
That. I mean, screw the nades. Nah, it'd be good to like smoke off top banana, just not letting having them the control, or to see if someone is in banana.
A lot of info off the mid peak though. Mezzy caught moving away. Shuz chases him, and back to the site. It's only Alex here. Famas. Ugh.
Oh wow.
Eagle, far better.
Okay.
Alright, so I believe in the MIBR.
Come back, yeah.
Yeah, just saying it now.
The curse was just a bit of a lag on the curse, guys. It's all good. It's a bit laggy. But here we go.
Yeah.
I mean, this is actually the best possible way for this to really work, because from an economy standpoint, MIBR will get a lot more momentum than if they just want the pistol straight up. So, if assuming they win this round, they've got everything they need.
Yeah, I was just gonna say what they need is for C9 to force up and lose this round, and then they can get the momentum going.
I know, man. These rounds where I see pistols, Flaren, whenever he's on here, he's always pretty outspoken about how these rounds end up feeling really quite stressful, because all it takes is one little mistake to happen, and you feel it. You can feel it slipping through your grasp. Oh, luckily enough, everything's pretty nice in the beginning. Nothing weird's happened yet. They've got the bomb into the site. They've got a man advantage. And from here on in, I'm just going to say it, nothing can possibly go wrong here for MIBR. I'm really trying to bait everything, every round. I'm seeing how real we can make it. But it actually is just the save. Cloud9 are just going to give this a go with these four-sport weapons again in the next round. I like this, because I think, especially if you keep 4 alive, it's basically like having that force buy on repeat. It's just like a nice by the numbers kind of Counter-Strike, and that's what Cloud9 have been playing, right? I think they've played a very safe game where it is just, if we're in like a 3-on-4, yeah, we might give it a look in, but we're never that invested in these kind of situations. That was the case back on Vertigo as well, where it was these very much just erring on the side of like the numbers game.
Yeah, so to a point you mentioned, like these force buys are sometimes the most scary part of a match. I feel like that breaks the momentum, or that breaks like the entire half, or of making a comeback or anything like that. You need one guy just shoots through a smoke, gets 2 kills, and you can just play it safe and you win the round. And which is very scary for an IGL to call, or like to walk around.
I feel like at times as well, it's we say it sometimes, it's like better to win the second round than it is to win the pistol, especially on like the T side, because you know the loss bonus you're going to get for losing pistol is you know, more than it is if you lose the second. Like you'll get 1400 and then you're left with nothing. You can't even buy a helmet deeg, you know, so that can definitely be a problem.
Yeah, I mean nowadays as well, it feels like if you win the first round as if you win the pistol as CT, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy an MP9 here, and then you get insta peeked by an AK-47 full cav. You're like, what is going on? He's on pistol.
At least it's not the Krieg anymore, you know, like darted in for a quick jiggle or something. That was kind of hellish. But no, yeah, it is very weird. We always say it's like a game of who won the pistol round, you know, like you can never quite tell in those situations. It is, it's one of the weirder things, I think, because it does feel like right now a lot of maps kind of lean to being T-sided, I think, but just because of the money, not because of how the maps are designed.
And honestly, I feel like such a good change, I don't know why Valve haven't done, is, let me know if you agree with this, like, letting CTs buy the A1S and the A4 in the same game, because then you have the 2900 A1S for when you have less money, like maybe you win the pistol and you want to buy it with helmet and no nades. You have like 2 M4s, 3 SMGs, but you can't really do that because the A4 is so expensive and most people use the A4 over the A1S. So I don't know, I'd like you to be able to buy both guns on the CT side. I don't see a downside.
Yeah, I mean there was some teams in the beginning of the year, or even last year, I think I saw Tabson from Big do this, and he equipped the silencer, but he only bought the silencer like the first couple of rounds of the game, and then he just played the AUG the rest of the game.
Smart.
So I mean, you like you said, it's sometimes it's definitely nice to have like a silencer against the second round buy.
Yeah, given the money discrepancy on the purchases, I like that change sounds great. It's just that I can't really see a downside to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially like, it's just like it's kind of mental how you have the least opportunities to make money. You're the most vulnerable to getting reset. You know, you just physically have to spend more. Like your rifle costs more money, even though it's worse than the AK. You know, you buy diffuse kits, that's an extra 400. Your incendiaries cost more, you know, and you kind of need all this stuff more on the CT side anyway. So it does feel like, you know, these kind of games, you know, I swear when they looked at it statistically, I don't think it's actually backed up by statistics, but you know, what do I know? It feels like a lot of games are longer now, or at least more drawn out, because it's like, you know, a team might just have this ridiculous T-side comeback where the CTs, you feel like you only really get to see them have like maybe 7 proper full buys. And you know, if they're not winning those rounds, if they're not winning them cleanly as well and like building up money, then you're always in like a bit of a weird spot. Like even now, right, where Cloud9 have gone in with this buy, it's not great. You know, like you've only got 1 kit, you don't have an AWP, you've got 2 FAMASes. That's what they've been able to muster here. If they lose this, they're on pistols next. So suddenly that's like MIBR building back into this game in like a very real way. And you don't have as many chances as it looks like to actually put a stop to that if you're Cloud9.
And they're gambling pretty heavily right now because of the lack of firepower and utility. And just playing super passive, not going for any info, just stacking B regardless of what happens. So, oh, that's a huge kill to get. That's a really huge kill. Now they're going to wrap into the side.
Oh!
Okay, well, there you go.
That's a nice shot.
Insane shot. Messi, though, this burst up phenomenal from him, and he's actually making a really good situation of what otherwise is just an awful, terrible situation. Messi, he's done so much. Yell, I mean, he's going to need some real Kenny S moment here to clutch this one. I don't think he's got time to get, oh, no time to get out of there.
Messi is actually really good in those situations when he's alone towards the site. I've actually played in a team with him before, and I remember I was always impressed with how it could be like along that site and always getting like 2 or 3 like quick multi-frags.
Yeah. He seems very comfortable.
Yeah. He loves those like very short bursts. It reminds me of 1.6 where that was much more predominant too.
Yeah, he's very, very accurate with his shot. He's not stressing with his phrase a lot of time.
Kind of reminds me how Rain would also like use a rifle. I think like he was the first player in CSGO when he was really at the top where he kind of just had all these just short bursts and a lot of movement around the bursting.
Yeah.
Yell's on fire right now. Taking S-Tag out. cello tapping the AWP. And, well, that's the round done.
Another gun round.
The bottom's still T-spawn.
All that happened, those frags, because someone threw a smoke. They Molotov down mid, and so Yell could peek, and also cello could go up. I think it was Bolt smoking out the molly in mid, and they peeked because of it. Otherwise, the CDs thought it was gonna be Molotov. Really good counter to that.
They might even find both the weapons. They know where Zephyr is now, and look, they've already dispatched people to go and hunt him down. He's not able to get away with it, and that's pretty big. You know, you take down these saving players. If you'd even held on to that one gun, I was gonna say, you know, if you held on to 2, maybe you could have looked to invest here. But yeah, no, with just the 1 save, mate, you're done. You're ecoing anyway. So this is what we're talking about with this like 2-for-1 almost. You know, you win that round, you break the money. Well, now you've got a great shot at an 8th. This is how you build back into the game. You know, we want to see Cloud9 try and get themselves out of this this rough spot before it becomes, you know, the kind of enemy knocking on the gate, right? An MIBR up to like 12 rounds, and then suddenly, you know, you're down to your final few buys where you're in the lead, because that's where the pressure's really on.
Also, you kind of lose when you come into this situation as a CT. You also lose a lot of confidence because, like you said, you almost get like a 2-for-1 round. So after you done like an entire eco, you're like, okay, now it's time to get back in the game. But then you're not really wanting to take too many risks because you just lost 2 rounds in a row, and you don't want to force your team to another eco. Yeah.
So you know, like even that side of it, right? Like it. Would you say that you definitely feel like you have to play safer, even if, you know, even if that isn't maybe the right call to make? You just kind of get in that headspace of, you know, no one wants to be the first guy to die, so you try and structure it so that you can just, you know, play more reactively. You're taking maybe safer fights. You're not doing the stuff that might have been working to get you there in the first place, which you know, maybe was some of this pushing and prodding, because you're worried, as you say, about like, you know, putting your team on eco again, being that like first domino to fall that then leads to another loss in one of the important rifle rounds.
Yeah, I think it's unconsciously. I think that's those are the times where you need to take like a pause, and you need to practice a mindset of thinking that it's 0-0. You know, you're not ahead or you're not under. You should always play every round as if it's 0-0, you know.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good way of looking at it. Because I think as well with some teams, you see like they might hit like 14, 15 rounds, and like it feels like the mentality shifts away from you know, maybe how it is in the beginning, like when the scoreline's 0-0, like you say, and suddenly it's like, you know, we need that 1 round. So like they're playing to get 1 round, but it's like that feels like it can be a very dangerous way to approach a game, you know, like suddenly it's not about winning as many as you can, you know, because you are literally 1 round away. But you know, I mean, I can't think of how many games I've seen where a team has been on 15 for, you know, maybe they've had like 6 chances to get it over the line.
Yeah.
But you never have that pause or that mental reset because you're trying to ride off the momentum, you know, and like the good feeling of we're here, like, you know, it's easy, 5 kills, we're done.
Yeah, I mean, every round you need to be unbiased from the conditions, and just purely think every situation, what's the highest percentage played to win this round, or
what's the most logical thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I gotta be honest. I love having you two here just to give us this little look in, right, as to like what might be going through people's heads and stuff like that. Because I always think no one knows it better than the people who are doing it currently. Like even when you have like these legends step down and do like desk work stuff, and you know, I just think it's so much more raw when, you know, tomorrow you guys might be in similar positions, or like, you know, earlier on this week, right? So no, I really appreciate y'all being here. And look at this, we got this little 4-on-4 where everything now is kind of interesting, because Cloud9, they know like this is one of the better spots they've been in as of late. The only thing that worries me is the potential of this B play coming through, and the fact that you've only got Floppy here, but he does at least have that smoke and Molotov to buy a bit more time.
Yeah, I think MIBR should have, like, they would have pushed. Because we can see now that there's no open B, but they think there's an open B. He just got an entry, or he refragged, which just makes them think even more.
Oh no!
Molly in the smoke. MIBR, they've thrown in their own util as well. Gonna pop into spawn. Oh, S-Tag's here, switching nades. Oh, he gets headshot by cello. Very quick. Floppy's at the back of the site, just trying to buy time. Zeppa can't stop the wrap on coffins, but they know Floppy has to be somewhere here. Newbox has been mollied. That only leaves one place. Oh, he's been chased. And Zeppa pushing the smoke as well. 10 seconds. Can he deny one? He might be able to kill them all. He's dropped one. Mezzi on a flank. Big nade from the roof. Does some damage. And killing Yell off the plant as well with the AWP. It's into the 1v1. Cello. Oh, it's a Mezzi, but Mezzi will win it, and that is playoff point. Wow, Cloud9.
Really important clutch.
Woo.
Yeah, I mean, it's how's it even 15-8? What was it, 12-3, and they lost the pistol?
Yeah.
It's been a good comeback so far from MIBR, but once again, they don't really have the runs to play with from the first half, so.
Yeah, it's looking tough. That's I really like the point you guys were talking about as well, about the sort of like the mentality aspect. Is because one thing I say to people as well is that you kind of have to reprogram yourself in terms of, because most people get a reward from an outcome of like, oh, we won the round, or but the thing is that then you also get an outcome of you lose, or if something goes wrong, and then you feel badly about it. So you kind of want to reprogram yourself to feel good about and be excited about just making the best play right now, and just understanding that you can't control everything. So that's all you can control, and living within that.
Yeah. For example, if the team screams at you at LAN, the other team screams at you every time they win a round, and when they lose, they just like shut themselves down instead of, you know, the other team is shouting back. I feel like that's you go in a very bad spiral of bad habits. And you play more emotionally than logically.
Yeah, man, it's weird as well, because I think like with those teams that are really emotional, it feels like the highs are really high, but then like the lows are really low, and it's not as consistent, right? Because you are like more led by how things are going, and when the going's good, you know, it must feel great, but then all it takes is those few stumbles, and it's a lot harder to build back in because of those like kind of bad habits that you talk about, right? Where you can't help your emotions coming into play, if that's something you've always allowed for.
This is gonna be a very hectic round. I just feel like the time is ticking.
Oh, Mezzi.
Spray.
He's being really well.
Yeah, he only has 8 deaths. This guy has just been closing rounds right now. He might close the series.
Yeah.
Oh, headshot. Smoke push for the game. Floppy damage, nothing more. The nade could do it. The nade could do it. 10 seconds. S-Tag's run. He's done it. Just needs to stay alive, and he's won the entire series. What a play. Oh, no, don't think there's time. That's it. Cloud9, 16-8. Wow, S-Tag with the nade, closing it out. What a game.
Sick round by Messi again.
Yeah, Messi saved that round.
He's looking really impressive. Yeah, man, I'm amazed that Cloud9 have the ability to see that through right to the very, very end. Like, this entire series, as we've said, has been very, very weird in terms of the back and forth nature. And by that third map, they were looking like more composed than ever. And for MIBR, you know, they started to find their way back in. I think it was just a little too far gone, right? I think that's probably a sentiment you guys would share as well. It's just like one round too far, essentially, for for the side of MIBR.
Yeah, they had a tough road. They made the best out of it. They could. I feel like that was a very challenging mentally. That entire best of 3.
Yeah. So how are you feeling now about having to play Cloud9 in the playoffs? That'll be your first game in the quarters.
I feel pretty confident, I would say. Let's just hope for a good best of 3.
Yeah, just don't let your foot off the gas when you've had a 13-2 half.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like now more than ever that lesson has to drive home, right? So we won't have to worry about that. We're going to throw this over to a quick break, but also shout out Golden, Jaquinho, and Samuelson for joining us for this whole thing. You guys did great. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for
We're going to throw
having
this over to a quick break, and then we'll be back. Take care.